Hey, it's your boy Slim Trader. We're back at it again with another weekend analysis. We're gonna do USD JPY, GBP USD, GBP JPY, and we're gonna look at Nvidia, Apple, Tesla, gold, and GBP AUD. So let's start with the best pair, my favorite pair, should I say, and that is UJ. So I've been trading. One thing I want to say is these analysis, like I said in one of the videos, is strictly really for me, to keep myself like having a game plan for the week coming up. Um, I can say that price is going to be bullish this week, but what I'm doing during the week is I'm watching these prices hit my key levels and seeing how they react. Sometimes it goes the way I anticipate, sometimes it doesn't. But the thing is, you don't want to stay married to a bias. You want to read and react, and that's what I do, and that's why I'm pretty successful in what I do when it comes to trading because I'm able to adjust accordingly and take those trades that are profitable. And doing it on a consistent basis is what we're all trying to do here. So if I sit here and I say, hey, UJ is going to be bullish this week, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bullish. It might one part of the week it may be bullish and you might get a nice little pullback, or vice versa. But just know that looking at the charts daily, especially the higher time frames, if you're looking at the 2 hour, 4 hour, I would say 2 hour at the lowest, but 4 hour, 6 hour, I like the 6 hour for certain reasons. 6 hours, it's a whole strategy that I do with the 6 hour time frame, and that's like breaking the day up in quarters. It's four 6 hours to make a day. So the market likes to move in a certain way every 6 hours, and then when it hits a key level, you kind of can anticipate either a reversal or a breakthrough based off the 6 hour alone. But that's a whole nother story. But let's get to the charts and let's see what we got going for the week. As you can see, UJ, if we look at the weekly candle, it ended bullish. Let's go to the actual candlesticks. I'm sorry, it did have a print a nice little doji here. Let me delete that real quick. So we have UJ last week print out this nice little doji candle. And if you know back in your candlestick trading Bible, should I say, it indicates indecision. So let me put back on my line so we can go and see that even if you look at the 3 day candle, it still has a day and 1 day and 18 hours left. But we can see that it's possibly going to continue to go upward based off of what we see on the 3 day. But let's see. If we go to a little lower time frame, we do have a little bit of resistance here at this green line. It doesn't look like price wants to break through it and close, but we're still going to maintain this area between 147, 400, and roughly almost 148. What it looks like price wants to try to break that this week. So if it does, we can possibly see UJ make new highs up to this blue area. That would be my next area of resistance for UJ. So we can't forget about 150. 150 is a major, major, major psychological level. So I would like to go ahead and put something there just to have some type of that could be the next level for UJ, definitely 150. So we're gonna mark that. So we do have some mini key levels. Like I said, we have this green line, which we probably may be breaking. We will see. Right now we got this. We still got an hour and 50 minutes left on this last candle, and I would like to see UJ break past this, and that just let me know that it may be ready to make new highs. But if we look at the overall move of UJ, we're still making higher highs and higher lows since we've been bouncing off this trend line. Okay, so doesn't necessarily mean that UJ is going to continue up, because this little area right here, this little green, it could potentially be an area to where it can continue price stall and then come back down and bounce off this trend line once again. So this is something that I'm looking at very carefully. We do have a lot of news this week, so that could play a major factor on how UJ wants to roll. But overall, I don't know. The dollar might be okay. I might add the dollar index on next week's analysis, because the dollar index will be very helpful on determining direction of a lot of assets. So UJ is kind of stuck in a little bit of territory, but if I had to choose one way, I would say bullish. But we want to see if it can get above this green before it does do that. GJ right now is still playing in this little consolidation area that I had made recently. I know I got a lot of fibs and stuff going on. I'm just trying to figure out what it wants to do. But if you look at this channel, this little channel that we have, we can technically see that it's gotten over past the channel below. So we did hit a key resistance level at 200, and we've been consolidating, and it's getting smaller and smaller and weaker and weaker. However, we're still not out of this consolidation box, but we are below the trend line. So with that being said, GJ could peak back up, but I don't see it getting past 200 at all. I think we might see a breakdown on GJ and see a nice little drop. And if it's gonna drop, I think it's gonna drop nicely. But we just have to wait and see. Because right now it's still holding. It's still holding. I mean, if I extend this right here, I mean, technically, if you want to look at this bottom part of the consolidation as support is still holding. You can tell these Heiken candles has not closed below the consolidation zone quite yet. So we see a lot of wicks, but we don't see any closing of the body below. And until then is when we would probably pull the trigger for some sales. That's just me. But it is looking a little weak, in my opinion. We hit a major psychological level at 200, and we just have not been able to gather any type of bullish momentum. But we are still in an uptrend though. I mean, because we got a low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then we're just kind of making this little support here. So we're just waiting to see how GJ wants to make up his mind, but it's still playing in this consolidation zone. So wouldn't be surprised if I see if we okay, and that's another thing. You have this consolidation zone, but we have this midway point of the consolidation zone, in which that is where price is trading in between now. See, back here, back in the beginning of the July, it was taking the whole consolidation zone. It even broke above it a little bit. Now we're playing at this half zone of the consolidation zone. That makes me feel like it's getting weaker, and we could possibly see a downfall on GJ. That's just me. So I kind of look like it might be bearish this week. GBP USD. So if we were looking at UJ and we said that UJ could possibly be bullish, and we're talking about GJ possibly being bearish, automatically, if that is my bias, I'm already going to assume that GU is going to be weak, because the pound is weak against the yen. The dollar is strong against the yen, to where it's like a rock scissors paper thing. That means the dollar should be strong against GU if that's the case. So let's look at what we have here. I know I have a couple of trend lines, and this particular orange one that I have going, it looks like we're playing on that with this zone that we have here. Now, if price decides to break below and the dollar does continue to be strong as I anticipate, that means I can definitely see uh GU going to 131, the next level. If we do like a kind of like a downtrend, I would want to see if we think that GU wants to continue upward, it has a lot to go before I even think about it continuing going bullish. Even though it's still making, you got a low, high, higher low, higher high, and then equal lows, and now it's kind of like playing in between. So from here to here, we're playing in between that. It's just a break below this would make me be like, okay, 131. But it's looking like that because I don't think this orange trend is going to hold too much longer. But in order for it to continue on this bullish run, I mean, it already broke this trend line, and then we got the counter trend or the trend that may be the new downtrend for the time being. It has to surpass that. It has to get past this resistance level, which will make it a double bottom because you got one bottom. Here we go with two. We got the W. Here's the neckline, which is the key level that I do have. It has to break all that to continue going up. And I just don't think it has it in it right now, but you never know. You never know. But this is why you want to kind of like read and react. So if we look at the daily right now, today is Sunday. We are starting a little bit bullish, but this is nothing. That's not enough for me to make me think that okay. If I see like a bullish engulfing, if I see this that Sunday, Monday in and this candle's green and engulfs this whole red candle, then I'm like, okay, we might have some momentum to go ahead and push up. But as of right now, I'm looking at GU going ahead and drop down. So we already had the break of the trend line, and we have this nice little doji candle and then a bearish candle. So this could be an indication of it wanting to head down. Okay, so now we're going to look at gold. Gold's been playing around. I thought it was going to be bullish, but look at this. Um, we have this key level right here that price just cannot break. We had one rejection, two rejections, three rejections, four rejections, and but we're still kind of like keeping the higher low going. So what are we doing? Gold, not too sure, but I think it's starting to get a little weak, I think. It's a lot of rejections. So we do have like a mini trend line here on the daily. If we can see price break below that, we could see gold drop quite a bit. I would say around to the 31 hundred range. That would be a nice opportunity for sales for gold. And that also furthers my bias of the dollar being strong this week. So I don't know what news we really got going on. We got job openings. We got the interest rates, GDP. Those are big time. Oh man. So this can definitely non-farm payroll. Yeah, a lot of news. So maybe that's just why we have a lot of consolidation going on and like in between levels, just because we're waiting for these news to hit and make the moves that we're anticipating. So um, it would be interesting to see what gold wants to do, but if gold does break and close above this resistant level, then this is the next key level that I would be anticipating. But other than that, I can see this next level 20, 32, 45 if price wants to go down. But it's just something that we have to watch at these key levels. So I have a gold minimum at the 2 hour. 2 hour, I mean, we do have like a little bit of a consolidation zone right here, just a little bit. I mean, it's nothing serious, but we can look at that and see. But I want to see. It's just a lot of levels that gold would have to accomplish to continue going up. But I mean, it's still bullish though at the end of the day. So I'm gonna go with what it's been going for quite a while now. But this whole consolidation, though, they're just showing me that there are sellers. The bears are in play. So this one, I would just wait and see what type of rejection or yeah, whatever type of rejection from either side, whether it's resistance or support, and go from there. But gold, I love. Gold brings me a lot of good trades and moves fast. That's why I love gold. GBP AUD, I thought this was going to be a kind of like a bullish move, but it did break, made a double top, and then broke down. We did have a retest of this area, and it continued to go down. So we could possibly see GBP AUD get down to the 2.02 level. It might not just be a straight shot. You might see a lot of uh, highs and lower lows and lower highs and lower lows on all that until it gets there. I don't think it's going to be a straight shot. But overall, still bullish, but this might be the counter trend, which would be a good drop anyways. But 2.02, I could see price getting there and then holding on to this support level and then eventually heading back up. Nvidia. So I remember making this red once at 175 last week, and as you can see, price didn't even pass it at all. Dipped down, but it continued up. Um, Volume is a little low for the past few hours of Friday, so I don't know what Nvidia wants to do, but Nvidia has been on a tear, so I'm always bullish. I'm always bullish until otherwise. But right now, looks like it's having a little trouble trying to burst through 175. So we'll see what it wants to do. Apple, it did make that move to the upside, but I thought it would be a little bit stronger. Right now, we're having a little bit of lower volume and a little bit of hesitation past this trend line, downtrend that I have, but it's still trading above this consolidation box that I do have. So, still kind of bullish on Apple. I don't, I still don't see, especially once it passes, if it passes counter trend with flying colors, look out for Apple. Apple making a nice move. Their earnings is on the end of the month. So depending on what they want to do with their products and stuff, usually this quarter they're not too bad when it comes to sales. This is the quarter before the phones come out, so all the new gadgets and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. I think the news is what's going to carry Apple for the most part. But I like where it's at. I still think I'm still bullish on it. If it does want to drop down, which I mean it could just because of this. Like I said, looking at the Heikin-Ashi, sometimes it's kind of getting thinner, lower volume, and then you got this bearish. So it could be a little pullback, but again, like I said, I'm bullish on Apple. Tesla fooled me. I ain't gonna lie. I was looking for Tesla to 400. I'm not gonna lie, but earnings. I knew they was gonna have poor earnings, but sometimes it likes to move out opposite of that. However, Tesla did drop down to 300, which it landed right at one of my key levels, and then it decided to head up from there. And then it started trading above this key level. So Tesla's still not out for the count. I really still think I'm still bullish on Tesla. I don't I mean, if Tesla wants to drop, it's going to drop down to about 280, 260, and then we'll see what it wants to do. But I'm still bullish on Tesla. I think Tesla can still rip the 400, 420 area just off of what it did at 300 alone. I really liked what it did. I mean, it dropped. I mean, we got this gap that it still can fill possibly, but I mean, it stopped right on its tracks, and then we've been bullish. So um, I like Tesla for the buy still, even though I did take an option and I am down on it. But once it hit that 300, I took another call and I pretty much got what I lost back. But I'm still in my Tesla though. I still have time on my contract. So we'll see how that goes. but I'm still bullish. But if I do see heavy rejection, if it gets to about 330 and I see some big bearish candle, then just gonna take the L and call it a day. As far and speaking of calling it a day, that's about it that I do have. That's just my analysis for the week, what I'm looking at as always. And like I said, just read and react. Um, Once you get to the lower time frames for entries, this is where these key levels come into play for me. I'll go down to about the 30, sometimes the 15, and I'll just take good entries from there just because these levels are very, in my opinion, accurate. But yeah, but that's all I have for you all this week until next week. But real quick, I wanted to talk about Tesla. Tesla, and we might be able to put a fib right here, low, so we could see possibly Tesla hitting 330, and then it kind of fills the gap. It gets to this key level, the midpoint of it. So does it want to continue to shoot up to 61.8 to 100? Then we're talking. If it does that, then we're like, okay, we're going to continue up. But yeah, that's all I have for this week.